Sunhaven Farms is actually a group of hog farms that are owned by 150 farm families. And we started this concept back in about 14 years ago. And it was kind of based on our family farm, where we've got a number of different family members working together using the same set of machinery and accomplishing the growing of crops. Some of the efficiencies that we have on the grain side of things, with the large air seeders and the large machinery being spread over a number of acres, would have been just too inefficient if we were using that. Each had our own set of machinery, so we were doing that. One of the things that grain farms were looking to do was diversify their operations and provide opportunities for young people, subsequent generations, to be involved in farming. And the hog farming, which we were familiar with on our farm, was an opportunity. So we got people together, pooling their dollars really, and investing in community-based farms where we had a sow unit that was independent of all of the farms, but owned by all of these farm families. And then the pigs were moved from there out to independently owned finishing barns, and all part of the Sunhaven Farm system. So the opportunity that it provided for us was for us to achieve economies of scale at a level that none of us would be able to do ourselves, but by working together, we were able to pool those resources and accomplish what we wouldn't be able to do ourselves. And I use the term, we're maintaining our independence by working together. Now, that statement may sound like it's the two parts of it are in conflict. And I began to wonder about it, because it was about 15 years ago. We were at an agricultural event down at the river, and we were in they had a big tent there, and ended up in the big tent because a thunderstorm came up. And I was talking about to the group of about 200 and some people about maintaining our independence by working together, and there was a great crack of thunder, and the wind was blowing the tent around. And I wondered if either somebody was really agreeing with that statement or saying it was full of hooey. But it's something we did. It's something we got together. We had people. The Sunhaven Farm system has actually a board of directors that gets together. We have about 18 people. We don't get paid to come to meetings. We typically have our meeting in a Cub and Scout hall or someplace like that. We have an annual meeting where farming members come together, and we've really pooled our resources financially to be able to achieve some economies of scale and be able to be competitive with many of the large firms that have become involved in parts of agriculture. And there are certain parts of agriculture that are really have a very significant amount of corporate involvement now. And people questioned our model, but the last 3 years in the pork business have been dreadful. And then swine flu hit a year ago, and there were a lot of farms that went into bankruptcy. The two largest ones in Saskatchewan, representing 60% of their production, went into bankruptcy. One of them 2/3 owned by the Saskatchewan government, in fact. and it went bankrupt, filed bankruptcy last November. The other one went bankrupt a couple of years ago, and our farms came through it. And our bankers, when meeting with our group a little while ago, told us that we came through better than most of the other farms. Now, what's also kind of interesting and something that I'm really proud of is that we have our annual meeting on the first Friday in June each year, and we actually just had one of our senior managers retire at the end of June, and so we were looking for a replacement for him, and we were able to obtain a replacement from another large corporate structure. And he was at our meeting. He actually came to our annual meeting wearing a suit, which did not fit in with the rest of the people. And by the end of the day, he was just astounded at the difference in our annual meeting. He said, this is just like a family. And he said, I'm used to meetings where we go and it's, it's totally corporate. And he said, this is like a family. Do a lot of corporate stuff, but you're acting like a family. And to me, that was perhaps the best compliment that we could have received for the way we were doing things.